How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to part 3 of Her Story. Now, I figured something out here. So, if you look at this, the database checker. So, the yellow one signifies the last video you watched. So, I've watched the most recent, because I looked some things up about it to like how to actually complete the game, because I wasn't sure if I was making any headway. I mean, obviously you can fill all this out, but the point is you watch a clip, and then it's supposed to fill your mind with some ideas, so you search farther into that clip and find the next piece of evidence. So I've actually found the farthest piece along that I know of, which is this one right down here. I just got to find out how to get back to it. So I'm going to start with this one, because this was kind of where everything really started to click. And if you haven't, at this point, if you haven't checked out the other episodes, make sure you go do that. Lots of important stuff. The last episode is a little bit weird, but a lot of important stuff we found out that got us to this point. But this is kind of where things started to get interesting. When she talked about knowing, so obviously she did it. She had to have done it. She has multiple personalities. Obviously, Simon was cheating, and then she found out about it, and then she's trying to say she had an alibi, which one of her selves were in Glasgow, while the other one was back at home. Crazy, crazy stuff. But this video, she talked about knowing he was dead, hiding the body for a little bit until, let's just watch. Let's watch. This one is important.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later.
She's admitted to being
We
two people.
wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
Okay. So she talked about so the watch, the cellar, I had a session. I think it might already be there, but okay. So where do we go from there to get to the next point? Mirror. She talked about a broken mirror. I don't see. This is all so early.
Silverleaf? No.
I just want to see.
He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
Okay. So this is all earlier
The
stuff.
mirror.
Okay, the mirror. I want to know more about
Can't
the mirror.
remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think.
In the cellar downstairs.
Haven't looked at it since.
Okay, so all this stuff that's early on, right? Yeah, it's way back there.
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror. A nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
Okay. So the mirror, engraved mirror. I haven't searched blood yet. There's gotta be something about blood. Okay.
Like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood.
Getting somewhere.
Yeah, he was dead.
Okay. I want to see where that one was in the database. Okay. We're getting there.
She was sat behind him. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day. And she had blood on her. And she was in shock.
That's got to be the next in line, right? Yup. Okay. blood. She was in shock, so we're getting there. There's. This is still pretty old footage, right?
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the answer. I took my keys out of my bag. The key wouldn't turn when I tried to touch the shoe rack. It was cold. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't have to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
Okay, so again, this is really early stuff as well, yeah. Okay, just so I can get the clip watched, whatever. I don't think it's going to have anything of any importance in it.
I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I had the door. No, my bag and unlocked the door. The left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea. I touched the kettle. It was cold. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. Whilst I was in the shower, I didn't answer it. I think it was exhausted. So I lay down. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see what had happened. That's when Eric called again. Don't know.
Okay, so she said that already. That's weird. Clothes. So, cause she said something about her clothes being out of there. Okay, what's this? This is beforehand, but...
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back.
She said the name of the title.
Some of my
name of the game.
Pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present. Another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
Okay, we're getting somewhere now, baby. Okay, so then they talk about bringing her down to the cellar, of course. I feel like we're on the cusp of things. I just gotta get back. I gotta get back to here. I gotta get back to this one. It's about the watch and the cops. God, I gotta get back to that. I wish I remembered how it was, where I got there the first time. Murder. Well, yeah, I know murder was already the first part. Was it like one of the first things I watched?
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that. Stories.
Like, where was that one? Oh! Like, one of the first videos I watch is literally the next one in line. So she said they're just stories. So how about, what if I search stories?
Fairy tales. Stories about lost princesses, evil witches, magical mirrors and lost children. So you see, even before I knew the truth, I'd found it in those stories.
Is that one? Oh, that's still pretty early on, but...
No. It was just me and her. It was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it, and I'm going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember, that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week.
Okay. Where was that in the timeline? Oh, that's still pretty early on, too. Florence? Okay, let's listen about Florence.
Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up. Take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy occasion.
Okay, where's that? It's pretty early on as well, but let's just keep rolling.
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in the mirror. She was me.
What war?
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book. The knock code. Something prisoners of war would use. We'd tap them out on radiator pipes or the attic floor. Dad thought we had mice, but they couldn't find any. Bought a cat anyway.
Okay, so the tappy tap thing, she did that in an earlier video too when she was talking about Eve. Because yeah, she did it in this video here.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Okay, that. Okay.
My name. That was the only question I failed. Your lie detector works.
Okay.
I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah.
Sarah, that's a new
Sam
name.
wanted to call her Ava after his nana,
Yeah.
but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name.
I'm kind of at a loss from where to go from here. If I'm sure you've noticed with the shirt, these first 3 episodes I recorded in the same session, so I'm going to step away from the desk a little bit here. I'm going to think about this a little bit off recording. I just tried typing in some words, see if I could find anything, because I feel like maybe in the last couple episodes there hasn't been a ton of progress. But so I was typing in some words and this popped up, chit chat, and they said, "How's it going down there? Are you done?" I said no, because that's all I could type. I said, "Okay, I'll hang a bit longer. Buzz when you're ready." So let's see what happens. I'm curious. Yes. Let's see what happens. I'm curious. Good. So you think you understand why your mother did what she did? Huh? Am I the baby? Is this what's going on here? I'm gonna say yeah, because I think I have a good idea. Yes. I'm glad, Sarah. I'll be waiting outside. Log off and we can meet over the road. Hangs up.
I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah. Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana, but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name.
What? So, hold on. Hold up. Okay. So, apparently, I'm a girl doing the investigating, and I'm... Huh? Okay, log off. Let's see what happens when I do that. Let's log off. Yeah, quit. Okay.
Hurt someone? Yes. But everyone thinks that from time to time, right? You just want to lash out.
All right, so let's talk about this game. So, really interesting experience. I like the setup. I like the fact that you're like sitting at a computer, obviously, and you're trying to, you know, I like the idea of entering in words and trying to put all these clips, find clips that match the word, and put everything together to try to figure out the story. Now, I think it was pretty clear early on, actually, kind of what happened. I mean, the way this was set up, it was pretty obvious what the outcome was going to be of this. So the way I understand this, and he said, I think I looked some stuff up, and Sam Barlow, the creator of the game, straight up said that he kind of wanted the ending to be ambiguous, but we all kind of know what it was, and maybe it was just some sort of closure for, because obviously, if we're the daughter, we're Sarah here. She said in that video clip that she would have wanted to name the daughter Sarah, so it wasn't. Maybe that was the daughter she didn't. And this whole thing could play into, because it's pretty obvious she had a multiple personality thing. So maybe one form of her thought the baby didn't make it through the birth when it actually did, and then part of me wonders if she's using like her other side to kind of do the whole insanity plea when it comes to stuff like this. Obviously, you hear about that a lot in like court cases and stuff, that you know you can get off and get lesser punishment if you plead insanity or whatever. So I'm wondering if that was also a part of this. She used her other personality to say like, yeah, well, you know, she did it, not me. I don't know about it, and just, you know, obviously they're the same person. That was made evidently clear with all of her explanations in the video clips that we did find. So yeah, it's an interesting concept, interesting idea. But yeah, so basically, you know, maybe we're just trying to find some closure as Sarah, and we find out that throughout the whole thing, you know, she kind of hinted at the fact that, you know, with the mirror, and she saw the other Hannah do it. So it was pretty apparent from the start, especially when you watch a lot of the clips. She kind of did. I mean, you knew the ending was going to be that she ended up killing him, and that's what happened. And it's probably, you know, they did kind of talk about unfaithfulness in a way, and how he liked blondes, and how Simon is talking to girls at the bar, and maybe it's a jealousy thing. I mean, I don't know if we ever got any indication that he actually did, you know, cheat on her with somebody else. So maybe just the fact that he was out and about, and it could be a whole mental issue as well. So it's a really, really interesting concept for a game. I heard the creator of this made a couple more games like it, so later on down the road, maybe I'll try some of those out as well. But yeah, really interesting game. I liked it a lot. When I heard about it, I thought, you know, I had to give it a try. I thought it'd make a really interesting series. At first, we were hitting a lot. Like I said, in the last couple episodes, not a lot happened. Then right here, I was, you know, searched a couple of things, and ended up at least being able to get to the credits. I don't know what the significance of Sarah crossing the road was. Maybe it was the road pass, like finally understanding what happened, and crossing the road was that way of finally just getting over it. She knew the story. She knew exactly how it all went down. So it's a little, like I said, probably a closure thing for the daughter who was or wasn't born. I don't quite understand that. There's more I could do. Obviously, I didn't have the full database cleared out, so there's a lot of stuff I could find here. But that would just be a lot of searching and watching video clips, and that's not all that exciting. The fun part was we got to the credits. We all know what happened. And yeah, very fun experience, cool game. I hope you guys enjoyed the series. If you did, make sure to leave a like on this video and all the other videos. Check those out. Comment your thoughts on this down in the comment section. I'm curious to see what everybody else thinks about this game, because it was an interesting one. It's really interesting. It makes you think about things. So I like that. And most importantly, subscribe to the GrandaPanda channel here. Help me out a lot. Like I said, I want to start posting a little more regularly on this channel. So yeah, I guess that kind of wraps it up. That was her story. I hope you guys, again, really hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever that ends up being. Thank you.